There's this guy. There's this guy. Um. Okay. So there's this guy. Oh God. Okay, so there's this guy when we were young, or when we were younger. Because I'm still young. When we were younger, we we had a thing for each other, and hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayokun Akanbi and I am a YouTuber based in Oyo State, Nigeria. If this is your first time coming across one of my videos, my love, just know you're most definitely welcome, and this is a place you really want to be. So today's video, I am just going to be answering first time question, like my it's a first time question tag, and I'm going to be answering them, like things that my first time doing some things, like what happened when I did some things the first time. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So my first question here is my first thought today. My first thought today was what did I think of today? No first thought today. There's no first thought today. First thing I do when I wake up, I will not lie to you. The first thing I do when I wake up is to go to my YouTube studio. I go to my YouTube studio like every time. So that's like first thing I do. I go to my YouTube studio to check my video analytics, to know how many subscribers I've gained, how many likes I have, how many views. Yes, that's basically what I do when I feel like the first thing I do when I wake up. And moving on, the first app that I open definitely has to be YouTube. It's YouTube. I will let you. So moving on, the next question is my first YouTube video. My first YouTube video is a video on me, like just an introduction. You get to know me. That I had my sister. My sister had to, yes, I had my sister interview me. She was the interviewer in that video, and she was asking me questions. Then I was just giving her answers. So my first video was the get to know me tag that I did. And the first person I subscribed to on YouTube, has to be Tomike Adeoye. Yes, Tomike Adeoye. My first cooking experience, I cannot remember actually. I can't remember my first cooking experience. I know if it's even going to be bad, it won't be that bad. Sure you get. But yeah, I cannot remember my first cooking experience. My first ever mobile phone has to be one MTN phone like this. I got it. My parents got it for me when I was in SS2. Yes. And it was a MTN phone, and luckily for me, I could to go with the phone. You know now, you know how interesting, like how delighting a phone can be when it has all these apps that we use then, the Facebook, the Togo. So, and was I able to use WhatsApp? I can't remember, but I could remember that it has to go on it, and that was like the fun thing about the phone. So yes, that was my first mobile phone, MTN phone. Yes, it was MTN phone. So yes, that was my first mobile phone. Moving on, my first love, and do we still talk? Well, will you believe me if I say I can't remember my first love? If I would choose anybody as my first love, that has to be the person I am currently with. If I'm with someone, that's the person, that's my first love. And do we still talk? Yes, we still talk. And my first best friend, and do we still talk? My first best friend has to be Yinka, and we went to the same primary school, and we were friends then. Yes, we were friends then. Then when we finished primary school, we had to move to JSS, like junior secondary school or a secondary school. So I went to a different junior secondary school for my GSS 1, and she also went to a different one. And when I was about to when I was about to move to GSS 2, I had to change my school, and luckily for me, we were in the same school. Like, we didn't even know, and we were also in the same class. So when we saw each other, we were like, okay. So we had to rekindle our relationship, or maybe we had to like reconnect. The relationship came back to place, and we became friends again. And when we were about to move to senior secondary school, we had to go to different school of science. I went to Oyo State School of Science, Badi. She went to Wesley, if I am correct. I can't remember, but I think that was where she went. Yes, she went to Wesley. Then our relationship went like this. Like, we lost the communication, but then sometimes when we have these jets whatever in school, they come around. So she represents our school for one public speaking thing, maybe debate. I think it's debate. So yes, we just see, but then you get, now the connection was no longer there, and we still talk. Like, we still talk, we view each other's status. Yes, that's basically what we do. So but with them, we still talk. We are not on bad terms. And my first piercing has to be this, that I got when I was a baby. Yes, this. No other piercing, but I hope I'll be able to get any other when I'm ready, because mentally I am not ready. I don't think I want to go through the pain. And the first person I watched on YouTube has to be Tomike Adeoye, because she was the first person I subscribed to. And as at then, I have not started YouTube. I just add the app, and I just make use of the search engine to check for some things. So yes, that was the first person that I watched on YouTube. And my first well, basically, I would not say I have gone through any heartbreak, because if you all know what heartbreak is, you understand what I'm saying. But then I just get disappointed at some point. Like, you get, when people that I look up to, or when people that I love so much disappoint me, I just feel sad. And I have it at the back of my mind that human beings will always be human beings. That's just it. So it's not that I get heartbroken. I am just always sad about it, or maybe I'm disappointed. That's just it. I have never been heartbroken. I have never. So moving on, my first job has to be my first job. I wasn't paid, or let's say I was paid after like 6 months. Like, my first job has to be my CWES. Yes, student industrial work experience scheme. Yes, so that has to be my CWES, which I did at NIOT. I did it at NIOT, and I wasn't paid. I was not paid. It was just like, okay, we are going to be giving you so amount. I think they paid 10,000 after like 2 years or a year plus. Like, after like 18 months or so, that was when they paid that 10,000. I think it was 10,000 or 15. I cannot remember actually. But then that was my first job that I knew that I did, like, working for someone. That was just that. Yes, that should be serious. It's my serious. And the first person I talked to today has to be my mom. Yes, she was the first person I talked to today. And the first person I text when something exciting happens, like, first person I text when something thrilling happens, has to be my sister. Yes, it has to be my sister. So whichever sister it is, if any of my sister is watching this video, let her decide how good you are to me. Like, decide how good you are to me if you're the first person. But then the first person I text when something thrilling happens has to be my sister. Then the first text I sent today has to be, I can't remember. I cannot remember actually. First person, I cannot remember. My first car, okay. So this question, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't have a car yet, and the only thing I can say is God, when am I having my car? But then if we are talking about toy cars, I have a lot of toy cars. Like, I had my first toy car when I was very young, at a very tender age. So what are we talking about? But then my first car, I don't have a car yet. And the first alcohol I drank has to be Smirnoff, and it has alcohol of 5%, if I am correct. 5%, yes. And I took it I tasted it when I was 14, 15. That's when I tasted it, and since then I think it's still my favorite alcohol. Yes, that's it. First time I got into trouble at school and at home. Okay, so let me first talk about home. So the what happened at home was, there's this guy. There's this guy. Okay. So there's this guy. Oh God. Okay, so there's this guy when we were young, or when we were younger, because I'm still young. When we were younger, we had a thing for each other, and it was not a thing. We were kids. So the thing was, okay, I had a phone then. I had one small phone then. Then we got to exchange contacts, and my dad knows him. Like, my parents knows him. Like, the family knows this guy and their family, because we stay in the same like area, same environment. So okay, so we exchanged contacts, and foolish me, I had to write his name on the wall of our house. I wrote it on the wall, then I saved it on my phone as well. Then I saved his number as weird guy. I think it was weird guy or foolish guy, I cannot remember, but it was one of those two. So and the reason why I wrote it on the wall was, okay, if I lost this number, I can just go to the number on the wall. And the reason why I saved this number as weird guy or foolish guy, which I cannot remember, was because I knew that my parents knows this guy. Do you get? So if they see him, they just like, you get. Parents can be overprotective sometimes while growing up. But unfortunately for me, my dad went through my phone. Then he saw, I think I already dialed his number, so he just went through my call log. He went through the dialed calls. Then he saw weird guy or foolish guy. Then he called me. He was like, who did I save as so? I said, a friend. Unfortunately, my dad called my friend, and he got to know it was this person. The first thing he did, the first reason why he beat me was because I didn't save his number as his name. Why? Is there something that I am hiding from them or so? Daddy beat me that day. Mujeya. And back to what happened in school. I think I was in GSS2 or GSS3. I cannot remember, but it has to be one of those levels. Then we were implicated, or maybe I was implicated. I was implicated with 3 other persons, yeah, 2 guys and a lady or a girl. So it was 2 girls, 2 boys. Then they said we wrote love letter. Me macho, write love letter. Who does that? I was a very serious student when I was in in secondary school. Like, I don't do all this boyfriend girlfriend. I don't have the time. But for real, I was implicated that I was part of those that wrote love letter to each other. Then they said, if we don't want our parents to be called, or if we don't want to be suspended or expelled from school, we have to do this. Then We were punished. After punishment, they asked us to get 60 leaves notebook to write a I will never write love letter in my life. I will never write love letter again. Yes, I'll never write love letter again. On each lines of 60 leaves from the front to the back. And we were given deadline. I think we were asked to submit that same day. You know how writing can be if you're a student. You know how writing can be when your lecturer or your class teacher is giving you notes and you get tired. 60 leaves. Well, we wrote it. So that was what happened. And I could not tell anybody at all. That was when I got into trouble, because I am a very, very low-key student. Like, I mind my business in school, except I am with my people. But if I don't have my people around, I am always this gentle girl. So how come I was implicated? I don't know. Even till now, I don't know. My first sleepover. My first sleepover could be actually anywhere. It could be anywhere actually. I can't remember my first sleepover. It has to be at my best friend's place. My best friend then. It has to be her place. And the first thing I do when I get home, is to remove everything that makes me feel uncomfortable. If there is anything I am not comfortable with, as soon as I get home, that is the first thing that I remove. Then my first makeup then has to be either, I can't remember, it has to be either eyeliner or this Mary Kay powder, this compacted Mary Kay powder that has foam and a mirror or so. So I think they sold it then around 200 naira or 150. I cannot remember, but that has to be my first makeup item. My first crush has to be one guy in, I can't remember this guy's name. But then the guy is tall, is dark, is handsome, is intelligent, he speaks well. But then my crush always feels like as soon as I see you and I like you, it doesn't last. But I can't remember this guy's name. I think his name is Pelumi or so. I can't remember. It's been a while. Like, we have not been in contact for over how many years now? Over 10 years or 9 years. 9 years. So I cannot remember his name. And my first language, if I am not mistaken, has to be English. Not that I am that perfect, but I am the first child, and basically I speak English all the time. Not like I have people around that speaks Yoruba and can like put me through. Do you get? Even my mom had to tell me that while growing up, when I was still a kid, that she took me to my grandma's place and I was speaking English, and my grandma was like, oh yeah, come and carry your child. How will your child know how to speak Yoruba? So I feel like that's my first language, and Yoruba is my mother tongue. So now I can speak Yoruba. Very well. And guys, my first the first time I was allowed to, the first time that I was allowed to do makeup has to be that I was allowed to do makeup freely has to be when I was out of secondary school. I was like, my mom forced me to do makeup. Do you get? So it's not like there is this don't do makeup. I am actually not the makeup type. Like, I was actually not the makeup type then. Even now, I don't know how to do makeup. I'm just learning. So yes, I am just learning, and I think I lost my point. Okay, my point is, when I started using makeup like freely, not freely self, because I was forced to use the makeup after secondary school, because my mom was like, you're in their institution, you should be able to, like, even if it's lip gloss, just use something, because I was not used to it again when I finished my secondary school. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you like this video, do not forget to click the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.